Hey, it's Lynnie Wennerstrom, common sense health expert, unconventional health and entrepreneur, spiritual guide, all kinds of fun things. We are so multifaceted, aren't we? Anyway, this is day 6 of the fast. I probably more than likely will finish up and tomorrow. Actually, I passed the 6-day mark at about 6 o'clock because that's the last time that I had anything to eat last Wednesday, which was, we started on Thursday. Anyway, my daughter and I. Anyway, I wanted to let you know that I went down to, weight is always important to people to understand. The metrics are important for people to understand. But I am in full ketosis, have been for the last 3 days. And glucose is down to, I think it was 64 today. I don't have my metrics, but I'll go over the metrics tomorrow just with a little wrap up. And I know I didn't do days right now. You go back and look at days 3, 4, and 5. There was a lot going on, and so I was like super tired. Anyway, there was just a lot going on. So I will get back to that too. I'll go through all the metrics and everything tomorrow, and go over what happened days 3, 4, and 5. So with this fast, and so anyway, it turned out incredibly wondrous, and I feel really good. So I've lost a total of, as of today, and I haven't redone it tonight, that was first thing this morning, probably lost a little bit more, but 12.2 pounds. That's in 6 days, and just in, again, full ketosis. So basically I'm burning fat for fuel, and there are some things that we do. We nebulize silver and some nanofulvic acid, which is probably the only one that I know of that does it. And so that really helps the breathing and cleaning things up in the lungs, and actually gives me energy. And I'm in my greenhouse, so I'll show you just a little bit. You can see it's really like, because we are building a home, there's hardly anything in here. I've got comfrey, I have some tomato plants, got a lot of aloe vera. That's my comfrey, one of my favorite herbs. But anyway, I'm in here so I can, because it's late. Not late, but it starts like 9 something. And so I just wanted to make sure that I loaded this one up today so you knew what was going on day 6, because I know you're just hanging by the edge of your seat to know how this fast went. And normally I do like 7 days or 14. I kind of do it in like a week at a time, but this was just a 6-day that my daughter and I planned on doing, and we feel both. It's been like the most interesting, because I'm not a big believer in, well, it doesn't matter what I'm a big believer in, but I do believe that when people get sick, that it's because they're vibrating at the same frequency. One, they're putting in their body what, say everybody in the house gets flu or cold or something. So what are they all eating? What are they all doing? Are they, there's common denominators in a family, husband and wife, kids, parents, and there's just common denominators of what they eat and what they put in their bodies and their treats and that kind of stuff. So they're vibrating in a certain frequency, and I would look to Tom Cowan to understand that a little bit more. There's many people that I just think he's one of the best teachers to explain that kind of stuff, rather than all the other stuff. Anyway, I didn't mean to go right there, but I just wanted to say I'm tying this into Lynnette, my daughter, and myself have been like together. It's like, oh my gosh, that sounds so good. And we even talked about stuff like a deep chocolate cookie pie and stuff like that. Stuff that we wouldn't even eat. in the first place. I mean, well, we could, it's not that, but it's just not something that we do. And then we started looking at mocktails, like really these energy drinks, and and we just started, and then watermelon came to my mind, and I was just like, so like today it's all I could think of, and literally I almost like stopped right at like 2 or 2:30 before 6, actually it's like 5, but before my time, just so I could have some watermelon. I was like, Lynnie, what are you doing? Like, it's a mind thing. It's all mindset. Oh my gosh. Anyway, so I finished, and I will let the whole night go, and then this is the first time this has ever happened to me. So I'm talking about frequencies and vibrating at the same frequency. So Lynnette and I were not helping one another by vibrating at the same frequency and talking about food for the last 2 days. So anyway, we're ready to let this to say thank you to our bodies, and and that they've rested and everything. But like today, she was so tired, and we went to Costco because 4th of July is coming up, and I had to get all the watermelons because I'm gonna just do watermelon juice and watermelon to for the fast, to get back on track. Probably a whole day I'll just do watermelon, and maybe just keep doing it for a couple of days. But we were pushing the basket together, those big old baskets, and it was full of not just fruit, but we just got a lot of stuff that we needed, that we hadn't done, knowing that 4th of July is coming up, and that we have to whatever we have to do. And so you could tell I'm a little foggy brain still, but I'm feeling super good, and I love that. The weight loss is one thing. Spiritually, I'm a very spiritual person, and I feel very connected to Source most of the time and everything. I did not get to, well, I guess I did last night because I had the most amazing dream with a meditation. I did a meditation, and then I had the most amazing dream and stuff. So better than I normally do, or just different anyway. So I didn't reach that pinnacle like when I've done 14, my longest was 23. And so anyway, it's not about breaking records. It's about like, what is it that your body needs? And I really feel that my mind, well, it kind of took over the last 2 days, vibrating at the same frequency as my daughter, and she's so ready to let it go. She even felt a little nauseated and stuff yesterday and tonight. We do coffee enemas to make sure we get everything out, all the toxins that are coming out. So she felt a little sick doing that. So nauseated, not sick. So anyway, that's about it for this. I'll wrap it up tomorrow, and she's texting me, sorry. So I'll wrap it up tomorrow with all the, the different metrics and everything, because I don't have it out here because it's dark at 9, 10, 12, 15 on a Tuesday night. So thank you for following along, and I love you very, very mucho, and I hope that you have been inspired a little bit on this journey, and that you consider thinking about it or doing something. Everybody's so, oops, sorry for the traffic. Everybody is so unique and individual, and it's really funny how not just Western medicine, but even herbalists and so many, so much, especially in Western culture, it's like a pill for every ill, and so an herb for every ill, and not everybody. In fact, I think herbalists are more sensitive to that it's definitely like what the body needs, and like a holistic approach. But there's a lot of it, like, okay, you have a headache, let's get white willow bark, and or feverfew or something, and there's nothing wrong with that, to take care of a symptom. But it's like, okay, why do you have a headache? Get to the root cause. anyway, so when you do a fast, it's not like just to lose weight, or well, it's whatever you want to do. It's your outcome, what you're wanting, but it's a very individual. Every time you do a fast, it's very individual. This time has been, interestingly enough, pretty difficult. I think because Lynette and I were like, we started talking about food and how we're not hungry. Like, neither one of us are hungry at all. We haven't been hungry. Well, today she had some hunger pains, but I haven't at all. In fact, I drank like, I don't know, like a third of a quart of water, and oh my, I almost doubled over because my stomach shrunk so much just from yesterday to today. I couldn't handle it, and I was just so thirsty, and I just drank it down, and wow, for like about 20 minutes I was so uncomfortable because I just didn't have room in my stomach for it. So it's all very individual, very unique experience every single time. I've fasted so many times, and every single time it's just a whole different experience. So anyway, sorry, that's the door, sorry. So anyway, I just wanted to share day 6 with you, and tomorrow I'll do a wrap up, and I'll get days 3, 4, and 5 on for you. They'll all be in just one thing. Actually, I might just do days 3, 4, and 5 in a wrap up. I don't know, but just I'll go back through my journal so I can share like how it was and what was going on and everything. But I can tell you just right now that there was a lot of talk on day 4, 5, and 6 about food. And even though we weren't hungry, but we still were looking at stuff and saying, "Oh, this sounds so good." And there's these sourdough crackers that I make, and I was like, "Oh my God, I've got to get back into the kitchen." You know, I'm doing this this probably what I call the Harvard School for Internet Marketing, and it's taken, besides the puppies and other things that are happening in my life, I just have like totally left the kitchen. You know, I make salads all the time because that's easy and something I love and enjoy, but it's like, but going in and making, you know, sourdough tortillas and crackers and just making wonderful dinners and stuff like that I love to do, I just haven't been doing it. And I was like, man, do more of what you love, Lynnie. So this has helped me to actually, one of the things it's helped me to do, along with because Lynnette, she probes and she asks questions and she shares stuff, and it makes me think. It helps me to think. And when we were talking, it was just like, yeah, I really need to get back into the kitchen, because that is one of my favorite places. I always want a really big kitchen because that's where I always am. And recently, or like the last 8 months, I haven't been there very much. So anyway, always do more what you love. It's that's why we're here. We're here to expand and enjoy life and you know, to learn who and what we really are and understand. And that's my belief. And so I'm going to start doing more of what I love. Of course, my school comes first as far as priority, because that's where I put my investment and my time. But and of course you can see that in some of my YouTube videos and things of, you know, what it's about and stuff. But I really love being in the kitchen. So I thought, okay, I'm just going to make a short, like, how to make a salad course, you know, which is, a lot of people don't, it's interesting. They think just lettuce and tomato and you have a salad, or they just don't have the creativity. They don't think about it. And that has surprised me for many years, because I just love like throwing together this and that and trying new things and making salad dressings, and I just love it. And so do more of what you love. And that note to me is, Lynnie, get your shiny hiney into the kitchen and do more of what you love. So I think I'll be doing more of that. So I think I will be doing more of that. Maybe create a little, you know, how to create just salad making, if you will. So a course on that. So I did get a lot of inspiration on things like that. and for my business and things I want to do. So it's been a wonderful journey, just an interesting and very unique one to me, for me, about the food thing, because the food thing was never, it's rarely been an issue, like past day 1 or 2, you know, like the deprivation. But it hasn't been a deprivation, it's been more like, oh, that sounds so good, that looks so good, and you know, like that deep cookie pie or whatever it was. Like that was just so out of it for like, wow, why am I thinking that? And then watermelon, I couldn't get watermelon off my brain. So I got 3 watermelons. So I'll be eating watermelon for a while. And anyway, so I love you so very mucho. And I hope that if you already fast, that you'll make sure you do it at least once a quarter, or take a day a week, or intermittent fasting or something, because it's so good for your body. You know, eating up all that, you know, being the autophagy that's eating up the debris and things that don't work well for your body, creating stem cells that are like, think of neonatal, right? Before, it's not even neo because that means new, while you're in the womb. And it's just creating, okay, the kidney needs this, and the bones need that, and you know, it's just creating cells and putting them where they need to go in the body. So I just love that part of it. And both of us have been in ketosis for the last 4 days. So there's a lot of good stuff happening. Anyway, and this is sometimes why you get tired, because it's like you're not ingesting food, so you're not getting that, you know, the nutrition part of it, but also your body's just working like crazy. It's like, yay, now I can help heal this and do that. It's very interesting. So, all right. I love you very, very mucho. Again, shining my light to brighten yours always. And have a fantabulous day, night, evening, wherever you are. And we will see you soon. Tomorrow, actually. Ciao.